Tell me something that your mother has done that you will never forget, no matter how much therapy you get.
Story time part 1. Right after I separated from my ex-husband, my abusive ex-husband, betrayal trauma from a narcissistic mother starts with toxic shame. And I had no longer had strength to continue in my marriage of almost 10 years with 4 children. And I could no longer continue to act as if I was okay with the toxic religion that I had grown up in. My covert narcissist ex-husband was already working on my family. Matter of fact, he was already working on people that I had no idea he was talking about to others about me behind my back, which would eventually turn my family against me. I ended up calling my mom when I was finally done, and I could not take it anymore. I was completely, almost lifeless. And I called my mom for support. I asked her if I could come and live with them until I got back on my feet. And you know what she said? Your ex-husband is a better parent than you. Your kids don't listen to you. And I don't want that spirit in my house. I still deal with that in therapy. It's crazy. Religious narcissists are delusional. When she says that spirit, she's referring to what my ex-husband had explained to her that I was doing, quote unquote, behind her back. He said that I was doing witchcraft and I was lighting candles and I had a salt rock lamp, which now has actually become the salvation of the reason why I have boundaries with my toxic family. But the story goes, when he ended up moving in with my parents, I stayed with family friends for about 2 weeks. And I figured, well, maybe now my mom sees that he's toxic and she'll let me move back in with them. So I had my friend take me over to their house to talk to my mom and her husband. And I am pleading with her to let me stay there because I want to be with my children and I don't want to continue to burden people who are already going through something traumatic themselves. And do you know what my mom tells me at this time? She said, you deserve to go to a shelter. And then my ex-husband calls the police on me and kicks me out the front door. I remember sitting on the curb waiting for my friend to come back and pick me up, in shock, thinking, how is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I'll get into the why later, but if I told you the depth of betrayal and toxic shame and guilt and anger and resentment that I started to feel for my own family, I don't know if I would even have the words. Those are things you never forget. And even times when I later on asked if we could go to a therapist and talk through these very painful and hurtful events that happened, she refused to do so, thereby refusing to have a healthy relationship with her daughter. Religious narcissism is a disease. It's a sickness, and it causes the victims so much harm and pain. And it's not anything I would wish on my worst enemy. I think being empathic and understanding the value of human life and respecting human decency makes it mandatory for you to heal in order that you don't repeat those cycles to your own children. I will never repeat that behavior to my children because I've decided to heal and to separate myself from all toxic relationships, including my narcissistic mother, whom I could care less if I ever spoke to her again. And that's on God.